the state of being joined in some activity or effort, the state of being aligned. It also means the group of people, countries, or etc. that are joined together in some activity, once again, in effort. And it also means a bond or connection between families, states, properties, or individuals. A close alliance between government and industry. We would have been our own government, and we would have had our own industry. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has started, and the minister has fulfilled it. And the problem is, my people, you must go to the time and what must be done, man. I'm sorry. So you can know who he is. And you'll see how he bear witness to the scriptures in his actions, not in his words. Because you've been taught to look for action. That's a part of it. His actions got to match his words. See? You can't just miss, the match part. You can't be sitting there trying to worry about, degrading what he's saying. You got to see how his actions matching what he's telling you. Negotiating. To discuss something firmly in order to make an agreement. Once again. Now it's on them. This was a discussion they made. Okay? They discussed something. We can't never let them know this. Because as I've read to you, we would have been successful. So they discussed this, firmly in order to make an agreement, okay? Of you never being taught it. So you'll never know how to do it. And never think it's possible for us to do it. Because they firmly made it an order to keep you from ever seeing the reality of the possibility. Look at what else it tell you. To agree on something by firmly discussing it. To give over through or around something successfully. This is what they did. But if we get our heads together, we can get in the same activity and effort. We'd have been on, running our own stuff. So we wouldn't have had to depend on them. We'd have been growing our own food. So we wouldn't have had to depend on them. And it would have caused a bond and a connection between our families, never struggling in the state that we are in now. And we would have been partying our behinds off because we would have been individually independent and we would have been a close alliance. And between us doing that, it would have created a government and an industry of peace as God intended it to. And the problem is you don't think so because you think God ain't looking at us as that people. You are misguided. That's why they ain't want you to know it. That's why we separated. That's why we think, if I ain't grow up around him, man, I ain't messing with him. But you ain't met a cracker your first day. You try to go get a job, you'll turn into one. Oh, yes, sir, whatever, And I had to play that role, boy, to get that job. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you had to do that. But what I'm trying to show you is if you had your own government, you wouldn't have had to come like no punk. Okay? Because you would have been a part of the family. You also would have been an association, the fraternity. Brothers and sisters and indigenous man, whoever might be listening, like I said, I thank all, whether you disagree or agree. I'm grateful. But listen to this. Affinity, I'm sorry. And it's a noun and it means a feeling of closeness and understanding that someone has another person because of their similar qualities, ideas, or interests, a liking for or attraction to something. a quality that makes people or things suited to each other. That is a law. And I'm sorry. And that is the qualification of a humanitarian. One who loves to see other people's lives better. Go look it up for yourself. And that is him. And we are his people. And damn it, I'm telling you the quality that'll help our people be an empire and a government of our own. And this is not no dang black power movement. This is the reality of your condition. Okay? One another, and we ain't worrying about another person. Because you feel your qualities might be better than theirs, your ideas and your damn interests. Okay? But what they said was a feeling of closeness and understanding that someone has another person because of their similar qualities, ideas, and interests. Brothers and sisters. Man, I ain't trying to yell, man. I'm just trying to make you see it from where he taking me. I ain't know where I was going. I told you I was waiting on him. You ain't got to believe it. He can take my breath. Hell, I just learned a lot tonight. I told you this go for me too. I ain't trying to sit here and talk you to death. Like I ain't got to, I know it all. Only God know everything. Okay? That's why he told us not to judge. And if you feel like that is crazy, then you won't believe in him. Because damn it, he did. How the hell you going to be two-time? And they firmly discussed it amongst the founding fathers. Okay? Who signed that Declaration of Independence for the people, by the people, weren't talking about us. We was in slavery. Get it in your mind. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I vote. Your vote don't mean nothing. These people are already elected before they selected. Okay? The whole voting is a scam. It's to make you think that your thought process or opinion matter. It don't. Because this 13 families of this elite, they don't give a damn about your thought process. Okay? That's why you need to do a background check for yourself. See who these people is. Okay? I told you before. Know that little ugly long-nosed man? Well, Lord, please forgive me for that. Let me But remember that man on The Simpsons who owns everything? They own stuff because they know partnership. And they all agree on the idea of keeping us down, as well as the indigenous, masses, and poor class and middle class Caucasians too. You are suffering from this as well. You don't have to think so. But your founding fathers, and those of this high, archy, don't give a damn unless you are joined into the ranks of what they are on. So if you're not on that, it don't matter if you are a lawyer or whatever. If you're not in agreement with it, then you're nothing. There's as well. Some quotes I've heard and seen of this man mentioning that he looked at people as cattle, like the poor. That don't have to matter to people. But if that's the type of system you like to be a part of, when these people are filthy rich and have the money to pay off the deficit of America from being in the debt that she is in, then you have to start, reevaluating your thought process. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. Because, a mystery, is similar to, a mystical, you know.
Mystical.
And the purpose, by his grace, he just blessed me to go here out of nowhere. So I'm sorry about the little pause, like I told you. I don't just come on here just to try to run my mouth or yell and get loud like I'm some preacher behind some damn podium. I be really, really, really trying to make your mind see the seriousness of, like, some might not care to hear it, but, it don't matter. Go back and listen to it when you got time. It might make sense then. You might have been going through something, might not want to hear it. But I just told you, America is a Mystery Babylon, so, Mystery Babylon, as she was titled, so you wouldn't, like I said, and never think nothing of it, and never think the rulers of it would be on this type of thought. You won't think that they'll be on. And that's exactly why it's titled a Mystery Babylon, because you wouldn't think that. Well, you are misguided. They own that. Having a spiritual meaning or relating, having a spiritual meaning